Hey, what's up, everybody in the YouTube space? I just figured out how to record a video on my webcam, so I decided to make a video. I was gonna make this video anyway. I've actually made it like 3 times and unsuccessfully. I know I do video, but I could work out like a super complex camera, but this webcam stuff is a little bit difficult. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys today about um, an alternative way to become a successful model. Keep in mind, I've been up all night. It is 7:03 in the morning, and I am editing a photo session that is coming out pretty good. But yeah, okay. So look, um, first of all, um, traditionally, there have been like gatekeepers in basically every industry, right? And these, gatekeepers, they're basically people who have the power to like really enhance your career, right? Like they can give you a contract that can pay you very well, or they can put you on a platform that can give you a lot of exposure. This goes for any industry, right? So, for example, obviously, if I wanted to be a very successful actor, I probably have to go the Hollywood route and audition and go through that community, that film industry community, in order to you know uh, get access to the big budget productions, right? If I wanted to be like a Goldman Sachs CEO or whatnot, right, I'd have to probably get a 4-year degree, climb the corporate ladder, and at a prestigious school. Climb the corporate ladder for however many years before somebody can even offer the position up, right? Um, so same thing with modeling. Like if you wanted to be on the Victoria's Secret runway, you probably have to get tied in with agencies who have access to that platform and have worked with pretty well-known designers and photographers and all that stuff. And you'd have to like play that whole game um, and get there, right? And that's if that's what you want to do, totally up to you. I am not mad, okay? But all I'm offering today is like an alternative route, and it's nothing new. You guys know all kinds of people who do this, but I don't know. I just thought that it might be a good um, video to make for people who are modeling. So but if that's what you want, if you want to go that whole other route, cool. The only reason why I'm even offering this alternative route is because you see a lot of videos, and I've heard a lot of things myself about models who've had really terrible experiences, who ran into really bad people who happen to be photographers or talent scouts or media liaisons or designers themselves, right? And these people have asked the models to do terrible things or very extreme things in order to get the kind of success that those people can offer them. Now the thing is that all of the gatekeepers all over the world, all of those industries are getting disrupted because of this thing called the internet. The internet is creating a an environment to where anybody can build their own platform, can basically create their own gate and walk through it under their own terms. And you see this a lot with like clothing retailers, man. You're starting to see a lot of these big companies that have been there for the past 50 years close down at malls near you. Because these smaller companies are coming up and basically taking market share because there's the internet and these people can market their clothing and they can work with models to market their clothing, and they sell the clothes. And just this entire industry, finance, science, medicine, you name it, it's all just shifting. um, Now, because of the internet, and this new renaissance and all these things getting disrupted. Modeling is no different. It's not like it's immune to that whole shift that's occurring. But if you don't want to deal with those bad people, or if you want to limit severely how often you have to deal with those bad people, the thing you'd want to do is control your audience and become a gatekeeper yourself. And that doesn't mean that you're the gatekeeper on the global stage for anybody who wants to be a model. It just means that you'd be the gatekeeper to people who want to access your audience. And so, obviously the key to that is build an audience. This could be, you could vlog, you can, talk about your lifestyle, you can give your opinion, your commentary on all kinds of stuff. I mean, you can just maybe vlog or post about the shoots that you're doing for whatever, your clothing brand or other clothing or outfits you just wanted to wear, whatever, right? But, you build an audience. And once you've built that audience, you have to determine the demographic / psychographic of that audience. So, for example, let's say you're a model and you're into steampunk fashion, but you're also, like a liberal, or liberally calibrated, uh, type of person with, your political opinions, and you are also into healthy living, and you also like, Daft Punk music, right? I'm sure there's probably 50,000, 100,000, 10,000 people out there who would align with all that stuff, right? And so, if you guys were hanging out together or running into each other, like, you'd be best friends, all 10,000 of you guys, right? Probably find your wife or husband there. In that circle of people. Anyway, now that so creating a channel where you relate to and identify with that section of people, like, that's like literally how you build the audience. You built the audience at that point, right? And so once you build the audience, now you have to find brands that are out there that also want to access people who are into steampunk fashion, who are have liberal views, are into healthy living, and listen to Daft Punk, right? Like, literally, like, there's a clothing brand out there that does steampunk fashion, and they love all of that you're expressing, right? And yeah, your audience might only be like 2,000, 3,000 people, but they watch every day. You can, 400 people on the first day are going to watch your video and whatnot. And, you can partner with that brand, or whatever brand wants to access your audience, and tell them, hey, pay me X, Y, and Z money, and you can get access to Tom and Jerry and Marsha and Phil and John, who watch my stuff every day. That's it. Boom. Now you're a paid model. And if you publish yourself, now you're published, right? And this whole, being a published model thing is like, I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. I value much higher, a digital publication of something than a print publication of something. Not to say that nobody reads print. Yeah, people read it. People check it out. And, obviously these traditional gatekeepers in these magazines and whatnot, you know, they still hold weight. Not to say that they don't hold weight anymore. I'm just saying that their weight is dwindling. But you don't have to. But getting published digitally or whatever, I don't know what you'd call it or whatever, but that might be just as powerful of a reach as getting published in print. Who's to say what's wrong or right in regards to that, right? Or what's bad or good in regards to that. And on top of that, you got paid. People will pay you upfront for that exposure, and as long as your audience is being provided something that can be potentially beneficial to them, as long as it's something that is that it's something they're interested in, you're good. You've done your job to your audience, who is helping you to make, to get paid, right? And do what you love for a living. So don't ever, there's no big eyes or little U's out there. Okay. Like, your audience is very valuable to you, and you got to treat them and guard them and protect them, like a gatekeeper should. Don't just exploit every brand that comes through that gate, or every model or photographer that wants to come through that gate. Like, literally have some righteousness and some good standards for yourself, and how you conduct, how well you operate within that gate. So anyway, you build your audience, brands pay you, whether they pay you 200, 300, 500, 1,000 bucks, 5,000 bucks, 10,000 bucks, to access your audience. It's up to you. Obviously, if you price it too high, it's not going to be worth it for anybody advertising. They have to be able to make money by giving you money to post that stuff. They got to be able to make money doing it. If they don't make money, then it's not worth anybody to market on your channel or your posts or whatever, right? But one thing that will not depend on sales is if you provide them the photos, right? So, like, if somebody pays you to market their steampunk fashion, and you grab your favorite photographer and your favorite makeup artist, hairstylist, and you guys go out on location, pay the one, you have to charge enough for that company to make money, and two, you should pay the people who are helping you to get paid right now. The photographer, the moolah, all that stuff. You know what I mean? All those people, you should pay them. Don't be a jerk like those other guys that you don't want to traditionally follow in the steps of in the first place, right? Another thing, uh, another example of like a pipeline that's good is, like, let's say you really love bridal fashion, right? Like, you just love wedding dresses, dude. That's your thing, right? And you know how to fit them, all the different silhouettes and styles and materials, and what was in from 1984 to 1987, and from 93 to 98, and all that stuff, right? Like, yeah, that's your thing, right? Okay, cool. So start up a channel, or an Instagram or whatever, Facebook, where you're posting yourself or models that you want to work with in these different dresses, and get all sorts of different dresses from all over the place, and to do your shoots in them and whatnot, and build up an audience of brides, right? And because these people are getting married, there's so many industries that are incorporated into the wedding industry, right? There's so many of these standalone industries that have their own, you know, um, uh, pipeline, right? From client to valuable final product, that also cater to the wedding industry. And because of that, man, oh my gosh, like, let's say I'm a wedding photographer and videographer, and let's say you built up your channel of brides, or you're building it up. Let's say you have nobody, right? And you're building it up. One, if you're just building it up, you might say, hey, Teddy, work with me to build up this bridal, you know, um, channel or whatever, and I'm going to shout you out on every post. Every picture you take of me, I'm going to give you credit. I'm going to post your videos, and these brides are going to book you for weddings. I'm like, cool, let's do it. Bang. It's easy. No brainer. Let's say you've already got 100,000 subscribers on there, and you have a rotating, new cast of brides that are logging on and subbing all your videos and photos and whatnot, right? I might pay you to do a shoot with you and have you post my work, right? Because it makes sense for me, because like, your psychographic demographic is mine. And so, those are like just a couple of examples of how you can make that channel or that, page profitable for you, to where you're a successful model. Or at least on the version of success that we're talking about. You might not ever do Victoria's Secret runways, or you might, I don't know. But will you be able to pay your bills and just model? Yeah, I think so. I think you will be able to do that. Can you make a really great living out of doing that? Yeah, I think you can. You know what I mean? And so it's up to you how you want to do it. But I'm just saying that there's an alternative path. And the traditional stuff, it's important to remember the traditional stuff will always be there, right? Like I know how to make my own money. So I'm not tripping off people dangling money in front of me to do something I don't want to do. Like I never have that problem. I just say, no, I'm good. And I'm good. Like that's the end of the conversation, right? But if you're a model, I could totally see how, if somebody is creating that pipeline for you to get paid, how you can fall into that trap of doing things you might not necessarily want to do, nude shoots, or underwear modeling, or the last 10 shoots you did, you had to just strip all the way down to your skivvies. You know what I mean? And you're doing that because you think that that's going to get you closer to whatever goal that you have in mind, and maybe it will. I don't know, but I'm just saying, because I make my own money, I don't have to do that kind of stuff. Like, I don't have to shoot that kind of stuff. I don't have to be that kind of guy, right? And I don't, I don't think, I'm from the school of thought, or my approach is that, yeah, look, the human form is beautiful, right? Not to knock it or anything. And, I'm a natural man, I'm a straight guy. So yeah, like I totally get, how beautiful the human form is. Trust me. Like, I really understand, right? But I think that if I wanted to get paid to shoot models, they should probably be wearing some clothes, because clothing brands are going to want to pay people to wear clothes in the shoots that we're shooting. And that's how I can get money off of it, and, pay the light bill or whatever, right? And so with all that, I say all that to say, you can work with people like me, or, and you don't have to work with people you don't want to work with if you're controlling your audience. Control is your best friend here. If you can control access to your audience, and you can control who has access to your audience. And because you control who has access to your audience, you control how much you get paid for those people to access your audience, and you control what kinds of gigs, or what kinds of brands and shoots and whatnot are worth it for you and your audience. So yeah, man, I hope you found this helpful. I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope that you figure out what you want to do in life, and you go do it, and you're successful at it, and you live the life you dreamt of. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Everything is a long shot. You wanted to go the corporate route, be the Goldman Sachs CEO. It's a long shot. You want to be the Victoria's Secret runway model. It's a long shot. Everything's a long shot. Okay, so, but you're gonna hit the target you're aiming for. And you can aim for any target. So if your target is create your own personal audience, your own, be your own gatekeeper, then that's the kind of target you're gonna hit. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. I love you, for real, for real. You be safe. Peace.